Yeah, 2 games over the weekend, and you, by necessity, I think, used quite a lot of players and 2 top performances.
Yep, I think we've got through the weekend like it was. I'd like to say it was a pretty much of a plan, but it was more trying to save players as much as putting out 2 strong sides. I think we had a number of players that only had 1 game on over the weekend. The plan was always to attack the home game with presumably our strongest group. But what we did against Castleford was we challenged the players that went up there with the belief that we weren't just going there to make numbers up. And I think what we got out of them was a fantastic performance against a side that's just flying high at the moment. And over the weekend, I think we're unfortunate not to come away with 4 points. I think that was the feeling now that we put 2 performances in that deserved probably a little bit more than 2 points.
In that Friday team, you had 2 Walkers, 2 Chapel Howes, an Ince, a Chamberlain, lots of lads who've come through your academy system, and again playing, as you say, the side that's been killing everyone basically.
It was great. It was, like I said, that's by necessity this year. Lads have got opportunities, but that's what comes around when they, like I said, they either get the chance because they're been bred to be a member of the first team squad and they're that talented that they can push their way into a really strong side, or you wait for opportunities by injuries or by illness. And this year we've managed to expose a number of players to the Super League environment, and they've come through flying colours. I think what we've seen, especially Ryan Ince, he's always had the ability, Ryan, to do something in a game, to break open a game, to score tries. He's got a natural instinct to score tries. He's had to learn how to play the game and understand his positioning at the highest level. But that's come from going out on loan and working with the first team, working with Brett Hodgson and working within the top environment. And what you saw on the weekend was 2 fantastic performances. What we've seen over the last 3 weeks from him, when he's been brought back from being on loan, is a player that's probably ready now to take the next step.
Plucky losers, I suppose, on Friday night, which is all well and good, but not what you want, is it, where you are on the table. Great win over Leeds, and that must really have been the thing you've been looking for to infuse some confidence into the squad.
Yeah, I think we came out of the St Helens game with much of the same thing, and we just run into a load of injuries again. We thought we'd turn the corner with some bringing some players back and the energy and enthusiasm that came out of that St Helens game. We pushed that on into the whole game as well, and we got a number of players back again and had a great start, but then we just seemed to crumble. I think the challenge for us now is holding together the team, and that one of the reasons over the weekend of not overexposing that top group that are fit is that you could end up breaking them all again. Like I said, we've probably overused Lloyd White this weekend, and he's struggling this week to stay in the side just because of the necessity of having to play 2 games over the weekend and not being fully fit yet. That's the nature of what that weekend does to you, and where we are as a group. I say we're not sort of like 24 players that are all flying and then 2 or 3 players that are coming into the side unfit. We've got a lot of players that are on the edge and probably could do with an extra week in training or another week getting ready to play. And but we'll use this to give us a boost. I think moreover the fact that over the weekend I didn't think we played that badly against Wakefield in patches. I think we were just inconsistent because of our lack of time together as a group. I mean, Rangi was great on the weekend. He came in and like his second game showed a little bit more patience. His game management was a lot better. He started to understand the people around him, and we're starting to understand him. So that's only going to get better as well.
So White's a doubt this week. I presume you've got some players, well obviously some of those who played Friday and played Monday will be available, I'm guessing. Anyone else outside of that group who might get in this week?
At the moment, no, we've not really got anybody else coming back. It's going to be another couple more weeks before you look at Steph and Eamon and Joe and Tom Gilmore being available again. So we've still got a couple of weeks to get through this period. But we've got a half back in the team now, which is always a positive. I thought that, like I say, Aaron's been playing really well. JJ's been playing good. Danny Walker, when he's had his little cameos coming to the side, has been a real boost to the whole environment. So there's some good signs there. Some, like I say, some green shoots started to pop their heads through. I don't think it's too late in the year to consider that we could get onto a little bit of a roll. especially when you look at the table and you see that they're not that far away. It's just that we need to now put a couple of games together, and a little bit of luck now coming our way, maybe what we need.
Catalan this week, you probably, like I did, watched the game yesterday, and then they had to do it pretty tough against Hull, I thought, in that game. That looked like a tiring game. Bit of a 4-pointer, isn't it, Dennis? Because you're not only getting 2 for yourself if you win, you're denying them 2, and they could be a team that you can push ahead of, perhaps.
Yeah, that's, I think. Yeah, we're not looking ourselves as looking above us at the moment. It's about we're at home again. We want to make our home games a focus for us as well. Like I think what we saw on the weekend was the people that actually came and supported the side and wanted to stick by us were treated to a fantastic effort again, and it was great to see them really enjoy the afternoon. And like I said, some fantastic nail-biting moments within the game, so everybody came in and got entertained, but we'd like to give them something more to scream and shout about again, and that's our home games. So Catalan here, yeah, it's a big game for us because we want to get moving up the table, but it's at home and we want to put performance in at home.
I think they, probably along with you, are the team that suffered most with injuries this year. What did you make of the performance against Hull? They played with a lot of desperation, I thought.
Well, I've actually heard as well, not maybe it's just by the by, but Wigan have had a couple of injuries as well this year. Yeah.
But you're not playing them this week,
so yeah. But I know that I wasn't sure whether they'd been mentioned it a couple of times. Everybody's been hurt with injuries this year. I think when you look at the top half of the table, the sides that are going well, Cassie, Salford, they've had a couple of knocks and bumps, but they've been pretty stable. I think that paints a strong picture. Like when you can hold your top 25 together or your top 20 together, you can be a contender. I think that when you look at Wakefield, Cass, Salford at this moment in time, I think they've been pretty stable. They've had a couple of injuries, but they've not had the masses of injuries that the likes of Catalans, themselves, and Wigan have had.
One of the places you were able to do a bit of rotation at the weekend was up front, wasn't it? And I presume you've got a little bit of a headache this week in prop forward terms, haven't you?
It's nice. Well, that's been one of our strong points. That's the start of the year was a bit hard. So we had plenty of front rows, but none of them fit. And now everybody seems to have come good at the same time. On the weekend, I thought, let's say both Jack and Gil started, made massive contributions in both of their stints out there. Manasseh's really contributing off the bench at the moment. The last 2 or 3 games he's played, he's had a massive impact. He's been good yardage, he's been hard to put down, and he's dangerous now. He's starting to build an offload back into his game. And around the edges there, like say, Greg Berg and Ted and Jay Chappell, I were both fighting for that spot, and Eamon O'Carroll's in the mix there and wanting a piece of it as well. And Alex Gerrard, like I say, Alex is just recovering from a long injury, and it's hard for him to go week on week at the moment, but he's chomping at the bit and he wants to play. So yeah, it's nice to be in that position with the front row where we're competing hard for places. The back row, hopefully going to get Matt Whitley back pretty quickly. I've been really happy with Sam Wilde. I think he's got some great attributes and has been contributing really well to the group. And Tom's found his form again. I think over the last couple of games, Castleford especially, I think he was back to that hard running back rower that's a good defender as well. Oh yeah, he's sort of Chris in there, and we've got a bit of a competition now from row and our back row at the moment.
Can you just give us a very rough update on some of those longer term injuries? Mellor and Gilmore, where are they up to weeks wise, do you know?
Well, it could be another 2 or 3 weeks. Again, it's the kind of injuries, Tom with a hamstring and Joe with a torn quad, it all depends on what stage they can run at, and at the moment they're both not running. So when they start running, then we'll have a real better idea of how many weeks it'll be. Like I said, Tom has actually been on the field, but he's not opened up yet, so I'm open Tom doing a bit of running. It could be a couple of weeks now, once he gets the strength back into it, and then once he gets a bit of conditioning back into the muscle. The problem with the hamstrings and quads is that you can fix them, but if you've don't know conditioning in the muscle, it'll tear again. So you've got to get him conditioned again to be able to play the game, and that's where Tom is at the moment. He's ready to start conditioning his hamstring. Joe is not really running yet, so I can't really give you a time scale.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I mentioned for a while, you almost forget people when they're out for that long, don't you? Tom Armstrong, he got injured at Leeds, I think it was, wasn't it? Is he?
It was, yeah. He's still a way off, yeah. He's just out of a brace. So he's another one that's, yeah, he's August time. At this moment, like I say, he's just out of his brace, starting to do some rehab conditioning wise. Once we see how he responds to that, then he'll come back into the mix again. Steph's starting to run again, and muscle injury, deep muscle injury, starting to run. How he reacts and when he starts to condition, that's when the physios can give me a standard time scale. At the moment, it's like I say, most physios will sit down, they'll open a book and they'll point at 4 to 6 weeks. That seems to be what they go to, but it never really ends up being that.